My peoples, get ready for this smoke. Boxing for breakfast is gonna kick off in 3 minutes. We on it, fellas. Yeah. Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. Y'all know what we doing, man. We talking boxing. But as always, I want to kick this thing off by reminding you it doesn't matter if it's hot, if it's cold, the circumstances, wherever you at. If you up, if you breathing, God gave you another day. We lucky, my peoples. We get to enjoy life. We get to enjoy our family. We get to enjoy boxing. Thank you, God, for giving us another one. Yes, sir. And let me give a shout out to everybody who's already tuning in, already in the building. Sai, Toy Mafia, the Dragon is in the building. Cass, salute, family. Y'all know what we're going to do, man. We're going to do this boxing thing. I'm Jay Smith, and the first topic of conversation today, fellas, is gonna be the whole Virgil Ortiz, Boots Ennis, and Oscar De La Hoya plus Eddie Hearn saga. The saga continues. So, in case you didn't get the memo, the judge rules for Golden Boy and Ortiz dispute. I told you guys before, if a fighter is gonna sue their promoter, he better win. He better win that lawsuit. Why? Because if you lose, now you're on the contract with a promoter who you just try to leave. Now you're stuck in that contract. Now you can't fight nobody until you handle that situation. Now, some of you may have been here and may be aware of what I said about this. And let me give you a quick recap. I said that Virgil Ortiz was probably going to lose in court. Why? Because his lawsuit is based on the fact that Golden Boy, their contract expired with the zone. So he's saying now that Golden Boy is no longer with the zone, then I'm a free agent. But you didn't have a contract with the zone. You had a contract with Golden Boy. So unless, let me be specific, unless Virgil Ortiz's contract stipulated specifically that his contract ended when Golden Boy and the Zone's contract ended. If his contract didn't say that, he's under contract with Golden Boy, not with the Zone. So I said it before, this is not going to be a good situation for him. Now look what happens. I told you before, if Virgil loses this lawsuit, he's going to face some inactivity. Where do you think he goes from here? He can't negotiate. He can't fight nobody unless he's fighting under Golden Boy. So he's either going to have to fight whoever Oscar De La Hoya tell him to fight, or he can't fight at all. They screwed up. Now think about it. He could have fought Jerome Boots Ennis, and it could have been a joint venture between Golden Boy and Matchroom. They could have made the fight together. But Virgil Ortiz decided that he was going to sue Golden Boy and leave and do the fight on his own. Now you ain't going to do shit. Now you're not fighting, period. Cool Boy, Panda, salute family. The Dragon, what's the deal? Bam. Damn, no Boost fight. It looks like we're not going to get that fight unless Oscar's involved in it. And that's the thing. This fight could have been made between Golden Boy and Matchroom. They could have did it. But no. Virgil Ortiz decided to sue Golden Boy, and it threw that fight for a loop, for a spin. And it looks like we might not even get that fight now, or anytime soon at least. The Dragon, I like Boots and Josh Kelly fight. I like that fight, but Josh Kelly don't like that fight. I already seen him using some duck language. Talking about, nah, I want to do like a tune-up, and then I want to fight. Josh Kelly want to fight everybody but Boots. I already seen him out there naming a few people that he'd like to fight, including Conor Benn. He not trying to. Josh Kelly look like he got no interest in climbing the ring with Boots. Agent 17, salute family. Bam! Cass, somehow the haters will blame it on Boots. I mean, look, man, the haters always pointing, always looking to point at somebody. And I'm telling you right now, me, I'm blaming Virgil and his team for the fight not happening. Because they created this whole drama with Golden Boy. And that's the reason why the fight is not happening. The fight could have happened between Golden Boy and Matchroom. But Virgil Ortiz decided that he wanted to be a free agent right when this fight was about to get made. Why? Like, he didn't have nothing to hold on to have a legitimate argument to say that he's a free agent. He didn't have nothing. And I told you guys before, the whole basis of this lawsuit is that Virgil wanted to become a free agent because Golden Boy's contract ended with the zone. So he felt like his contract ended too. What are you talking about, bro? You're not on the contract with the zone. You've never signed the contract with the zone. Your contract is with Golden Boy. So Golden Boy's contract ending with the zone does not mean that your contract ended with Golden Boy. You on the contract with Oscar. What are you trying to do talking about you a free agent? You messed up big time. Big time. Because, look, with that lawsuit, here's what happens. Virgil Ortiz and his team, they wasted their money. They wasted their money on the lawyer that was arguing for them in court. They wasted their money on that shit for nothing. You lost. Yo, when you sue somebody and you lose, your ass is cooked. You wasted your money on that lawsuit for nothing. And I told you guys before, if Virgil Ortiz loses that lawsuit against Golden Boy, he's going to experience some inactivity. They should have did this right here, my people. The time was perfect. The time was right for Virgil Ortiz. I'm going to remind you, when they climbed the ring and faced each other off, the fight could have been made next between Golden Boy and Matchroom. They could have did it. And then after this moment, that's why I'm telling you, I felt like Virgil was scared of Boots. Because after this moment right here, that they was in the ring together, that's when Virgil decided to sue and try to leave his contract with Golden Boy. Bro, you've been with Golden Boy most of your career. You've been praising De La Hoya. You've been saying how De La Hoya has been great for your career and for your family and all of this stuff. And the moment you and Boots do a face-off in the ring, you want to leave Golden Boy with no real grounds for leaving. No contract has been broken, nothing that allows you to leave. You just decided to formulate a whole argument about how you're a free agent because, hey, wait a minute, the zone contract finished with Golden Boy, so I'm a free agent now. Who told, like, where did you get this from? I'm not even a lawyer, and I was calling cap on that move. I was calling cap, like, well, you don't got a contract with the zone. What the hell does the zone contract expiring with Golden Boy got to do with you when your contract is with Golden Boy? There you go. The Dragon, damn, we need Virgil. Age of 17, Virgil most definitely scared. He knows them Canelo sparring rumors. Nah, Canelo probably told him himself. Canelo probably told him, like, yo, listen, man, Boost beat the shit out of me. What you think he gonna do to you? Alberto Oliver, now Virgil's manager, talking about other fights besides Boost, just like De La Hoya was in the beginning. Cass, facts, Jay. Virgil's energy was off from the moment Boost got in the ring with him after Lubin. And he was coming off of an explosive knockout. He obliterated Lubin, right? And yet, he had no confidence, yo. When Boost climbed that ring with that hoodie on, looking like he was bullying him. Yo, Boost looked like Devo up there. And Virgil like he was getting ready to get his bike took. Y'all started talking first. We was just retaliating. My dream fight is Errol. Man, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And look now. Look at the debacle that was that lawsuit. You sued De La Hoya in court and you lost. Bro, I told ya, suing your promoter and losing, no bueno, papi. No bueno. You try to sue Top Rank. My boy was inactive for like 2-3 years after that shit. And Virgil Ortiz is on the contract with Golden Boy until 2027. I think the end of 2027, some shit like that. You could be inactive all this time. You're going to fight who De La Hoya tell you. And now you're going to be looking stupid as hell. Sai, Arrow is my dream fight. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Get him the fuck out of here. Pack him up. Pack him up. I'm telling you, you do not sue your promoter if you're not absolutely sure you're going to win that lawsuit. You know when you could sue your promoter? When there's breach of contract. If your promoter breached the contract, then you can sue and beat him in court. No, Jimenez, good morning, bro. You're right. Salute, family. Appreciate you. If there's a breach of contract, if you can prove that he didn't pay you the money that he was supposed to pay you, if you can prove that he didn't get the fight that they promised to give you, if you can prove that there's something in the contract that was not done, then you could get out. But you can't just make up your own shit to get out of a contract. Virgil, I don't know if it was his team that made him go that route, a lawyer that told him, yeah, we could get you out your contract. But come on, man. Come on. And to say that he was going to leave Golden Boy and make the fight with Boots, you know, under Eddie Hearn, that's not even something that we know was going to happen. Eddie Hearn made an offer. Eddie Hearn made an offer because he thought Virgil was going to be a free agent. But we don't really know if Virgil was going to take that offer. We don't know. What we do know is that he faced Jerome Boots Ennis in the ring, and then he wanted to leave Golden Boy, as Oscar was actually trying to make the fight. Oscar was actually trying to make the fight with Eddie Hearn. And Virgil was like, nah, I'm a free agent. You can't make the fight because I'm a free agent and I could do my own deals. Oh, you're a free agent? Where this contract says you're with Golden Boy up to like 2027? You're not a free agent. So your ass is cooked now. Now, we don't know when Virgil's going to fight next. Or who he's going to fight next. We don't know if Oscar De La Hoya is going to put him in a shelf. Be like, oh, you want to leave? Or you want to become a free agent? Sit your ass down right there. Or Oscar De La Hoya might tell him, I'm going to let you buy yourself out your contract. Give me this much money. Give me this much. Tell your next promoter to pay this much to buy you out of your contract. Virgil's cooked, my peoples. If you sue somebody, not just a fighter, if you sue somebody that you're on the contract with and you lose, your ass is cooked because now you stuck on the contract with a person that you try to sue. No, Jimenez. Virgil will never beat Boots. Age of 17, Virgil gonna have to make a campfire on that shelf while he's at it. He's cooked. Virgil Ortiz right now, he is absolutely cooked. And I guarantee you, Oscar De La Hoya is celebrating. And here's the thing. No matter, the Assassin Salute family, no matter how much people dislike De La Hoya and they troll him and all this stuff, you got to understand, De La Hoya is a real good businessman and real savvy. So you're not going to break a contract with him because he's following all the rules, regulations, and guidelines that are stipulated in the contract. He's always gonna pay you what he's supposed to pay you. Remember when I think it was, who was it? Somebody said that they didn't get paid right, and he was like, "Let's pull up the numbers. Pull up the numbers and let's see if that's true." So when you doing business and you got people on the contract and you pay them what you're supposed to pay them, you do everything that you're supposed to do, they're not just going to be able to walk out of that contract. They're going to have to fulfill it all the way. Agent 17, Virgil thinks he can pick and choose. He's in a bad position right now, bro. A real bad position. Now he's going to have to be looking at Oscar De La Hoya like, who we going to fight next, Oscar? I really want to fight next on the Golden Boy. Now what you going to do? Your ass is cooked. West Dustin, salute y'all. Jay Smith and Box Center crew. Salute West Dustin. Bam. Cass, I wish Virgil had as much confidence as some of his hardcore supporters. I wish that too, my boy. I wish the same thing. Because Virgil Ortiz versus Jerome Boost Ennis is a fight that could have happened next, my peoples. This fight could have went down. But for it to happen, it had to be a joint venture between Golden Boy and Matchroom. And it could have been made. But Virgil Ortiz all of a sudden decided that he wanted to leave Golden Boy. That he was a free agent. Now, I'm going to show you that coincidences don't exist. Virgil Ortiz said that his contract ended with Golden Boy because Golden Boy and the Zone are no longer together, right? But Golden Boy and the Zone ended their contract and he never said anything. He stood quiet about it. He didn't have a problem. He didn't say that he was a free agent. He only decided that he wanted to leave Golden Boy and be a free agent when he faced off with Jerome Boost Ennis and Oscar De La Hoya was trying to make this fight. All of a sudden, he's like, nah, I'm a free agent. I'm a free agent. He didn't even have a legitimate argument as to why he was a free agent. The Dragon, Oscar gonna feed him C levels. Look, don't be surprised if Oscar feed him the shelf. Sit right there on that shelf. You're not fighting, buddy. Sit your goofy ass right there. You trying to sue me? You trying to backdoor me with Eddie Hearn? Sit your ass down. Now you're not fighting at all. Oscar De La Hoya could put his ass on the shelf, bro, if he wants to. Or you know what? We don't need you to fight stars. We don't need you to get the big fights. Go fight these bums over here. That's what you could get. The assassin, Jay Smith, I said it before, really lost hope for that fight. It is what it is. That's it. We're not getting that fight. You know, we could get it down the line. I mean, look, there's a little bit of hope for that fight. And here it is. That Oscar De La Hoya says, you know what, Eddie? Let's make it. Let's still make the fight. They could still make it. Oscar De La Hoya might even say, you know what? I'm going to feed your ass some boots. Yo, Eddie, let's make this fight. Let me get this nigga knocked out real quick. Let me teach him a lesson. Agent 17. Virgil letting down the people who support him. And disrespecting Oscar when Oscar is the reason he has a contract or is signed right now. I'm telling you. And this is why it's a bad look. Virgil Ortiz was trying to do to Oscar De La Hoya the same thing that Conor Benn did to Eddie Hearn. You see how Conor Benn, he been faithful to Eddie Hearn and all of that stuff. Great things to say about Eddie Hearn. And then all of a sudden, boom, try to leave. And left. But you see how Oscar De La Hoya was more business savvy than Eddie Hearn? Eddie Hearn, and he said it himself, he never asked Conor Benn to re-sign a contract, to re-up before his old contract ended. He let it be because he figured, yo, I've been loyal to you. You're going to be loyal to me. When it's time to do another contract, you're going to do it. Conor Ben shitted on him. Virgil Ortiz tried to do the same thing. He tried to backdoor Oscar De La Hoya. And what happened? Nope. You are the contract, buddy. And there has been no breach of contract. You're not going to beat me in court. Oscar De La Hoya beat his ass in court. Got him. Unc Dre finest. Shelf him for 2 years. Yo, he could put him on the shelf if he want to. At this point, Virgil Ortiz is going to fight who Oscar tell him, or he's not going to fight at all. Wes Dustin, I guess Errol might get a chance after the Australian fight. It could happen, but that one is tough to make because if Errol is going to be under PBC, I'm not sure if he's still going to be under PBC. If that's the case, then Oscar De La Hoya doesn't do much business with PBC. So that's a tough fight to make. That makes it a tougher fight to make. Hold on, my people. Let me grab this water right quick. Let me hydrate. Let me hydrate because we got lots to talk about, fellas. I'll be right back. Stay tuned for these commercials. ¿Estás segura que tú no la agarraste, mi llave? More.
Yo tengo la mía. Yo no le he puesto la mano.
A ver aquí.
Vale.
Llévatela de nada por ahí mismo. My people, we back in the building. And let me just say, salute to everybody tuning in to this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. We on it, my people. The Lunatic Librarian. Oscar still will make money with Virgil. Side, Virgil might get his dream fight. I mean, he might get his dream fight with Errol. I don't know if that's going to happen either. But it's like I told y'all, man. Virgil Ortiz is in a real bad spot. I'm going to give you an example. Where you work at. Imagine, bro, where you work at. You can't quit because you need the money. But you try to backdoor your boss. You try to backdoor your company. You try to backdoor people over there. And now they all know you try to backdoor them. But you still got to show up to work every day. You still got to see their face every day. And they looking at you like, yeah, you try to shit on us. Look at you over here now like a goofball. That's Virgil Ortiz. He gonna be a goofball when he has to face Oscar De La Hoya. When he has to fight under Golden Boy after trying to leave them. After losing in court. You're gonna be a goofball. The assassin, Jay Smith. What do you think about Haney and Sayers? Devin always want the low-hanging fruit. I think he does to Sayers the same as Norman. I think that's an interesting fight. We got to remember, it is at 154, a higher division. Styles make fights. I don't think that he'll do Sayers like he did Norman. I think that's a more competitive fight. Sayers is better than Brian Norman Jr., stronger than Brian Norman Jr. So I think that there's things to consider. I think that is a more competitive fight. Andre absolutely got to rehydrate. You dig? No doubt, my brother. Definitely got to hydrate, my peoples. Aroma Sound. There is no honor amongst thieves. That's why Eddie can't be mad at Dana and Conor because he was doing the same thing to Oscar while it was being done to him by Dana. He tried to backdoor Oscar De La Hoya. He actually tried to backdoor Oscar De La Hoya. And On that deal, Eddie Hearn didn't look good at all. It was a bad look for him because, bro, you see Oscar De La Hoya and Virgil Ortiz going at it in court. Why would you make him an offer? You know he's on the contract with Golden Boy. Why would you make him an offer? So that instead of it could be a joint fight, you could make it on your own and it could be an in-house fight. So you try to backdoor Oscar De La Hoya. And it didn't work out for y'all. Now what Virgil Ortiz is going to do? Andre Finance, absolutely, that's foul. Adam Hurley, salute. People got to call for more big fights. There's barely any good fights this month. You're right. This month, we didn't get that much like we would have liked. Wes Dustin, don't neglect that like button, folks. Come on, my peoples. Come on. Double tap that screen. There ain't no ghost watching in 2026. The lunatic librarian. Promoters don't sign fighters to more than 2-3 fight deals. Some only 1 fight deals. And I said this before, for fighters that have reached a certain status, they're better off signing 1 and 2 fight deals. 1 and 2 fight deals for everybody. But when you coming up in the game and you don't have a name like that, you gotta fight those 2-3 year deals, even 4-year deals, maybe even 5-year deals. You gotta sign long-term deals when you're coming up, because obviously you don't generate money like that, and your promoter gotta get a return on that investment. But Virgil Ortiz is like I told y'all, right now, he cooked. He's cooked, my peoples. He's stuck with Golden Boy. Can't fight nobody unless the fight is negotiated by Golden Boy. Your ass is cooked. Oscar De La Hoya is not going to be able to do whatever he wants with you. If he wants you to fight somebody that he thinks is going to knock you out, he'll make that fight. If you don't want to take a fight, he could say, fine, you can stay inactive. No fight for your ass. Oscar De La Hoya control your career after you try to backdoor him. You're cooked. Cooked. John Kenyon, Virgil can still bounce back. He's undefeated in a lot of finishes. Yeah, my guy, but how do you bounce back if you're not fighting at all? If you're not fighting at all, well, you know, because you have to understand, Virgil Ortiz is considered one of the best fighters in the 154 division. He's considered one of the best. We know, talent-wise and skills-wise, he's one of the best. But how does that help you if you're not fighting at all, if you're inactive? This is, right now, Virgil Ortiz is in the early stages of his physical prime. Right now. This is not the time to be inactive. You're going to lose some of the best years of your life because you try to backdoor Oscar De La Hoya. Remember, he's under contract with Golden Boy until like the end of 2027. 2026 just started. So that's a long way to go before you can leave Golden Boy. Andre's finest. I see Devin trying to stay far away from Ryan. But the people want to see it. Devin will do whatever he can do to avoid Ryan. I mean, he said that he was interested in making a fight. But he says that he's the A side. He's not the A side. He's not the A side. Yesterday, boxing... What's his name, man? I can't remember. He was debating with me yesterday night. But yesterday, somebody said that Devin is the bigger star. He's not the bigger star. Ryan Garcia is the bigger star, the more popular fighter. The Dragon. How Michael Garcia on the shelf with Bob Arum. Mikey Garcia. There you have it. Mikey Garcia was on the shelf for like 2-3 years, inactive. Why? Because he tried to sue and leave. And he lost the lawsuit and he was stuck in the contract. And what Bob Arum did to him? Oh, you trying to leave. Oh, that's how you doing it these days? Hold this down, fam. You're not fighting nobody. We're going to sit your ass on the shelf. That's why I said before, if you sue your promoter, you better win that lawsuit because your ass is cooked if you don't. Cooked. John Canyon, cherry pick fights, or call Saudi. The assassin. I never understood how people can go from kissing each other behind to big rivals overnight. I remember Virgil had nothing but good things to say about Oscar. Oh boy, how things change. And here's the thing. Virgil spoke positively of Oscar De La Hoya every time they put a camera in front of him and asked for years. For years, Virgil been saying Oscar treated me and my family great, always treat me great, always pay me good, keep giving me career paydays. He's such a nice guy. Even when Oscar was having problems with other fighters and they try to ask Virgil to see if he jump in that argument, Virgil be like, nah, I don't got anything negative to say about Oscar. And all of a sudden, the moment Oscar De La Hoya was trying to make this fight, now Virgil want to leave Golden Boy. Now you want to sue to leave the company that made you a star. Come on, man. That was a big gamble. Big gamble to sue your promoter. Andre Finest, Oscar has the handcuffs on Virgil in his prime. Virgil will be sold to the highest bidder by Oscar. Indeed, if you don't have a guaranteed winning courtroom, I would say don't do it. Don't sue because you'll lose. And it's like I said before, bro. If you sue somebody that you under contract with and you lose that lawsuit, your ass is cooked. Because now, it's not just that you lost a lawsuit. It's that now I know you try to backdoor me. Now Oscar De La Hoya knows that Virgil Ortiz tried to backdoor him with Eddie Hearn. This fight could have been made. This fight could have been made between Oscar and Eddie. Virgil and Boots. Virgil's the one who said, nah, I'm a free agent. I'm going to just make the fight with Eddie. Oh, you're just going to make the fight with Eddie? Y'all going to make it in-house? Y'all going to backdoor De La Hoya? And what happened if you lose in court? And I promise you, my peoples, if you did not tune in to that episode of Boxing for Breakfast, I specifically said there's a very good possibility that Virgil's going to lose in court. Your ass is under contract. Oscar De La Hoya did not breach the contract. You don't have any agreement, any deals with the zone. Listen to this, my peoples. I don't know if you're aware, but Virgil Ortiz's entire argument was that his contract with Golden Boy ended when Golden Boy's contract with the zone expired. Bro, you don't have a contract with the zone. What are you talking about? You ain't got no contract with the zone. So what exactly is it that you're suing for? He was bound to lose, my peoples. John Canyon, Jay Smith prediction. Arnold Barboza versus Junior Sims. Fight is in 1 week. Arnold is underdog and more experienced. Lost to Tio, and now he's getting disrespected. I'm going to tell you like this, man. Arnold Barboza is a fighter who I think at some point he's going to become a world champion. Junior Sims is a tough opponent. I can't make that prediction just off the top of my head like that. I really have to do a little watching some video of their last couple of fights and analyzing some data before I actually say this is my prediction. Because look, the thing is, when I make a prediction, I'm trying to be right. I'm not just saying any name. Here's a name for you. No, I'm trying to be accurate every single time out. So I can't just say it like that. Andre Finest, smash that like, you dig? Appreciate it, my brother. Andre Finest, you cannot break a binding contract, period, unless there was breach of contract. If Virgil Ortiz would have said, oh, Oscar didn't pay me my full purse for my last fight, then I would have said, oh, he might be able to get out. Oh, Oscar been stealing my money. The last few fights, he didn't pay me what he was supposed to. Oh, shit, you're going to be able to get out your contract. Your promoter robbing you. But you want to break the contract? You want to be a free agent because the zone expired contract with Golden Boy and you don't have a contract with the zone? Your ass is cooked. You bound to lose, bro. You bound to lose. What are you doing? You cooked. And I said it before, if Virgil Ortiz lose in court, which most likely he was going to, now your ass is under De La Hoya's will. Now you can't fight nobody unless it's via Golden Boy. Now you're going to have to look at De La Hoya in the face after you try to backdoor him with Eddie Hearn. You cooked. Aroma sound. The thing that might save Virgil is the game is about money. So if he can become a cash cow like Ryan, then Oscar will forgive. No. How you going to become a cash cow if you're not fighting, if you're not making the biggest fights? Virgil Ortiz could have been fighting Jerome Booth and is next. But the fight had to be done by Golden Boy and Matchroom. It had to be done by both. The smartest thing to do, if you thought you could win that fight, was do it through Golden Boy. Make the fight. Make the fight. John Canyon. Canelo was able to become free agent. That's a fact. But Canelo had a good argument. Canelo had a good argument to make in court to become a free agent. Virgil Ortiz did not. Did not. Some guys, saludos, Jay Smith, who fights this weekend? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's fighting this weekend. Ronaldo, Zuffa. I think Zuffa got a card this weekend. Ronaldo Miranda. Good morning, my peoples. Boxing for breakfast. You know what it is, bro. You know what it is. This healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. The Assassin J. Smith, keep doing your thing. I lost like 300 on gambling app. Been kicking the air. But this show cheered me up. Salute, my brother. This is what it's all about, man. It's all about boxing. And let me give you some of you know this story. But for those of you who just subscribed to Box Center, to those of you who started coming in recently, let me just give you the story real quick. Boxing for Breakfast kicked off because I used to be in the morning thinking about all these fights. I would be sitting here in the morning like, damn, to give you an example, I wonder if Virgil's going to fight Boots, man. I wonder if Mayweather's going to come back versus Pac-Man. I wonder if Shakur Stevenson is going to finally fight Tank Davis. You know, I would sit in the morning having my breakfast thinking about all these fights. But you have to understand, and I'm sure you guys are going to feel this one, when you're a hardcore boxing fan, your whole family ain't hardcore boxing fans. Your wife don't want to hear that shit about no boxing. Your kids don't want to hear that shit about no boxing. They on something else. Your family, they watching basketball, they watching football. They not into boxing like you. So you find yourself in the morning talking to yourself. Damn, man, is this fight gonna happen? Is that fight gonna happen? And I realized, damn, in the morning, I always be thinking about boxing. While I'm having my breakfast, I know there's got to be a lot of people too, man. I know there's got to be a lot of people that want this boxing fix in the morning and they not getting it. Boxing for breakfast, we're going to need that. And that's how I came up with the name. That's why it's Boxing for Breakfast. Because in the morning time, we thinking about boxing, but we don't really got nobody to talk boxing with. And our family, our friends, they don't want to hear that boxing shit early in the morning. We go to work early in the morning. Ain't nobody trying to hear no boxing shit, man. You got maybe have 1 or 2 employees at the job that know boxing. But then most people is like, yo, you know boxing? Yeah, I know boxing. I know Mike Tyson. Man, shut the fuck up. What you mean you know Mike Tyson? When somebody tell you, I know Mike Tyson, that means they don't know shit about boxing. And they don't know what's going on. They just know Mike Tyson. I done blocked people from this channel who showed up talking about, yeah, I know boxing. I know Mike Tyson. Huh? Boom. Block. You goofball. So that's where Boxing for Breakfast was born. I realized, just like me, a lot of people thinking, wondering about boxing, want to have these conversations, these debates, and here we are, my people, Boxing for Breakfast for the world. Al Booger, health, health. Health is wealth, my G, no doubt. Shadow boxing for real, bam. John Kane, Jai Opataya. Damn, minus 8,000 this weekend for Super Boxing Cruiserweight belt. Up for grabs. I mean, Jai Opataya, he's getting a cherry. He's getting a cherry. Hopefully they'll work him into some big fights. They already say they was willing to let him fight for the other belts and try to become undisputed. So let's see how that plays out. Ronaldo Miranda, my wife says something every morning. Whoa, does she say something about boxing? Al Booger, they made the fight. Nah, bro, that fight not getting made. Forget about that. Some guy, boxing, it's a special community. That's a fact. And we passionate about the sweet science. The Assassin, man, I didn't watch the Navarrete fight, but I saw the mean combo. Oh, my God, bro. The Navarrete versus Sugar Nunes fight, they really went at it. Sugar Nunes fought back the whole time, but Navarrete, man, he a special fighter. Ultimately put the beats on Sugar Nunes. They had to stop it. Side, Opataya fighting a Wendy supervisor. Psst, look at that. Look at that. And it's a second shift supervisor that he don't even know how to do much. He just there. Come on, man. The Dragon, facts for all. Facts for Ali. Army that. You should trademark that name. Boxing for Breakfast. Already working on it. Already working on it, my G. Box Center and Boxing for Breakfast. Already working on it. Aroma Sound. They don't even say they know Mike Tyson anymore. Now they say they know Jake Paul. Like, man, listen. When somebody go in a boxing chat, in a boxing channel, like, I know Mike Tyson. It's like, okay, I know Jake Paul. Basically, you're saying you don't know shit. Side, come in like Mike Tyson is the GOAT. Side, no more cherries for Jai. I agree, man. Jai Opataya don't need no more cherries. He 31 years old, something like that. That's it. It's time for him to fight the big names. Al Booger, Blanton is top 10. How is Jai minus 8,000? Wes Dustin, a bunch of pugilist enthusiasts with big appetite. This is home base, fam, right here. This is home base, for sure. If you guys notice, most of the people in the chat follow boxing for real, follow what's going on, follow the fights, know what's happening. And when somebody show up confused as hell, don't know what the hell is going on, they usually gonna have to shut up and watch the people who know, or they're gonna get blocked for saying dumb stuff. Because these conversations need to be meaningful. Shakur Hands, Jay Smith. Told you Hacker was a gymnastics guy. Oh, my God, the mental gymnastics. And he got caught lying yesterday, bro. I hit him up privately and showed him. Remember how he tried to say, nah, Devin Haney got mad fights on pay-per-view. Devin Haney got 4 pay-per-views and Ryan Garcia got 3. His arguments was whack as hell. And you see, he the type to be getting cooked and don't know he getting cooked. Got absolutely smashed. Pause. Showdown Boxing. He only there because he speaks English. I don't know who's he, though. Shakur Hands. I used to do that. Al Booger. Salute. The Dragon. Navarrete has flaws, but you can't whoop him. One of the most unorthodox fighters like Wilder. Man, listen, Navarrete, yes, he's unorthodox and he throws awkward punches. But look, he's at this point, he's already a 3-division champion, a unified champion at 130. Yo, he building a crazy resume. Navarrete put together a Hall of Fame resume quietly. And I'm going to be honest, man. I don't even know how he's still making 130. He looked big as hell in front of Sugar Nunez. How the hell is he making 130? Wes Dustin, Greg Hackett called his chat Sunday dinner this past week. You're catching on, Jay Smith. Yeah, he started Sunday dinner a few months ago. Shakur hands. I didn't know anything about anyone but Tyson. But that's years ago. The Assassin, Jay Smith. Navarrete fights how the casuals expert fighters to fight. I love it. I'd like to see him versus Shakur. I'm going to tell you something interesting. When Shakur was at 135, he was calling out Navarrete. But Navarrete not trying to move up. You know, he's making weight comfortably. Or I don't know if he could make weight comfortably, man, because he looked big as hell. He looked big as hell at 130. And you know what makes Navarrete such a tough opponent? He one of these people. His frame, y'all. If you look at Navarrete, he one of these people that his arms, when you look at his arms, look at my arms. These are my pockets right here. Look, these are my arms right here. Navarrete, so my arms hang next to my pocket. Navarrete the type of fighter, yo, that his arms hang almost next to his knees. Long ass arms. To give you context, he's only 1 inch taller than Sugar Nunez. And his arm like 2-3 inches longer. He got long ass arms and a long ass reach. So he gonna bait the shit out of you from range. Bam, bam, with them awkward ass punches. Who, think about this. Who y'all know that throws an uppercut from damn near halfway across the ring? Boom! Ain't catch you with that shit. You know how dangerous it is for you to throw an uppercut from far? Somebody could time you and boom, just absolutely destroy your mouthpiece. Navarrete get away with that shit because that's an awkward punch to throw. An uppercut is a punch that you generally throw from inside the phone booth. Bang, 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 right there. This dude hit you with an uppercut. Matter of fact, Sugar Nunez ate a nasty uppercut all in the snack box from mad far away. Boom! Caught him. Slipping. 2 left hooks. Let's cook, Jay Smith. Salute, family. The Hydro Grind. Good morning, my people. Waking up in the Bahamas this morning. Whoa. The Hydro Grind enjoying the Bahamas. Enjoy it, my brother. Golly, I know it's beautiful out there. The weather's amazing. Enjoy it, family. Andre Finest. Just got in from work. Had to tune in for my morning boxing for breakfast. Yum, yum. Enjoy it, my G. Another dosage of sweet science for everybody. Al Booger. I shut up and just listen a lot. Side, Navarrete is nice. West Dustin, yo, Hydra. Pineapples and crap for breakfast. Salute, family. Man, the Hydro Grind is eating good in the Bahamas. Eating great out there. The letter M, J. Smith. What fight would be your favorite dream fight? I mean, one of my dream fights would have been Virgil and Boots. But another dream fight for me, Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis. Side, them orangutan arms. Yo, that's what Navarrete got. Them orangutan arms. Punching your ass from damn near across the ring. The Dragon, and he thudded. The Hydro Grind. West Dustin, my guy. Salute, family. West Dustin, Fundora throws a long uppercut. Yeah, Fundora too, man. But Fundora, the Tower Inferno, he's another one that'll bait the shit out of you from across the ring. Put the baits on you. Side, Bud got them long arms too. Yup. Crawford got long ass arms. And he know how to use them. The Dragon, those punches are heavy. Heavy, bro. When somebody's swinging long like that, shit. The Assassin, J. Smith. Navarrete style is fan-friendly, though. Man, I was working. That's why I missed it. Yeah, Navarrete style, man. Like every single one of his fights is always fun. Every single one of Navarrete fights. When you watch him, you know you're going to get that action. You're going to put hands on his opponent left and right. Contractual, salute, family. Bam. The letter M. Aerospace is my dream fight. Shut the fuck up, B. Nobody want to hear that shit. Contractual, I just seen Ben. Might be the Mando for Garcia. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that, to be honest. Because right now, Ryan Garcia has so many options. Conor Ben is going to fight somebody else first. And then supposedly he is going to be the Mando. But I don't know how that's going to play out. It's the WBC title, that piece of shit trinket. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Garcia vacate that crap and go fight somebody else. Boost, 40 cal. I would love to see Businessman beat down PHGJ Dev, but Bill won't let his cornball son fight him. Look, man, I'm surprised that Devin Haney called out, said that he want to fight Keyshawn and Shakur, but little bro first and Keyshawn. And then Keyshawn really turned up, like, let's get it. I don't know if y'all seen Keyshawn Davis walk up on Bill, pull up on Bill and like, yo, what's up? Y'all said when we're gonna make this happen. And Bill was like, nah, we got you. We're gonna give you the opportunity. And now it's like they don't even want to say Keyshawn Davis' name. Keyshawn really about that smoke. He really about that life. And they don't want it. I don't know what happened. It looked like they was bluffing and Keyshawn called a bluff. Damn, bro. I don't know. I don't know what happened. The Dragon. We need that Mason versus Schofield fight. We need it, but Floyd Schofield, he don't want it. I know that Floyd Schofield pops don't want it. Why? Look what he said. Like a month ago. Yeah, we want to fight Abdullah Mason, but we need $10 million. We already know that asking for $10 million is the universal language for I don't want to fight you. We know that. Go all the way back to when Terrence Crawford was at the welterweight division. Danny wanted $10 million. Keith wanted $10 million. Porter wanted $10 million. None of them niggas seen $4 million for a fight. How they decide they want 10 for Crawford? So then you have to look at Floyd Schofield. He ain't never seen $2 million for a fight. How you want 10? How you want 10? He don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. So I think, and I'm going to tell you something. The pressure is going to be on Floyd Schofield to fight a champion. To fight somebody at the top. That pressure is going to be there. You know why? Look what he did to Tevin Farmer. He absolutely obliterated Tevin Farmer. So are you going to keep fighting guys at that level and not fight for a title? At some point, you're going to have to. The pressure is going to be on Floyd Schofield to face a world champion. I don't know if it'll be Abdullah Mason or not. But you can't be asking for no $10 million when you know nobody's going to give you that. You're not going to get paid no $10 million. Who's going to pay you that? Who? So when you see somebody making $1 million a fight or less for some of his fights, asking for 10, that's the universal duck language. I'll put it to you like this. Put it to you like this. You guys tuning in right now to Boxing for Breakfast. If you go to your job where you work at and you making, let's say I'm going to put it at 100K. Let's say you making 100,000 a year. And you go to your job and you tell them, yo, I need a raise. I need to start making $1 million a year. What you think is going to happen? Bro, you're going to get fired. You ask for $1 million a year. If you making 100,000, they're going to call security. Be, man, get this goofy out of here talking about he won $1 million. Get this goofball out of here. They're going to send you to get drug tested. Like, yo, what is wrong with this dude? He asking for $1 million? How you figure you should get a raise from 100,000 to $1 million. What drugs is you on? You cannot ask for $10 million when you're not even making $1 million. You can't. You're not being realistic. Pause track. They'll laugh your ass out the office. Come on, though. They gonna laugh at you. Side, I want to see Shaq versus Vaquero. That's a good fight. Shaky Foster versus Vaquero. But Shaky Foster want to fight Shakur Stevenson. He been calling him out. Boots, out with them. Side, Ray Ford versus O'Shaquie. Ooh, I like that fight. And they've been going back and forth. I think that fight's going to end up getting made. Because they've been going back and forth. The assassin between Bill Haney and Auntie Schofield. I don't know who contradict themselves. No more these dudes really clownfish. Really clownish. But I'm going to say this. Bill Haney is doing a better job than Auntie Schofield. You know why? Because you got to look at Devin Haney's resume. You got to look at his resume. You know, he got some big wins. He got a lot of accomplishments. What Floyd Schofield done so far? He ain't accomplished nothing. At Floyd Schofield's age, Devin Haney was already a world champion. And Floyd Schofield hasn't even fought for a title yet. That's why I say there's gonna be pressure for Floyd to step up. You can't keep fighting at a lower level and winning and padding your record and not go all the way to the top. It's the reality. You gotta move up. The assassin. Whatever happened to that Plant Charlo fight? I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't know, man. I thought that fight was a done deal, and before you know it, they kind of stopped talking about it. Now, I do see video of Jamal Charlo training, and I think I seen Jamal training too. So let's see what's going to be next for them. Jamal Charlo been out there calling everybody at 154. He called out Arrow, but he called out Boots. He told Eddie Hearn, yo, Boot, yo, what's up? I'm ready to fight Boots. In fact, now that Boots might not fight Virgil, maybe Boots versus Jamal Charlo could happen. That's a good fight. The Dragon, yeah, I want to see that too. And let me point something out, my peoples. At 154, where Jamal Charlo was the undisputed champion, he did not lose in the ring. He didn't lose his titles in the ring. Nobody beat him. Remember, he moved up for Canelo, and then he ended up, vacating or being stripped of his titles at 154. So he could say, yo, I'm the real champion over here because none of these champions beat me. And you guys know Jamal, he's about that smoke. West Dustin, Schofield bragged about $5 million, 5-year deal, then asked for $10 million on one fight. Look at that. You're making $5 million in 5 years. If you say that for Schofield alone, you want 10? What are we doing, babe? What are we really doing? Oh, Guandule, Floyd needs to drop Auntie as his manager. Juan Torres, on paper, it sounds good. But I think Charlo burnt out. Nah, I don't think so. You have to consider the fact that he got one loss in his career. No, he got 2 losses. One loss to Canelo Alvarez, and the other loss against Harrison. That's it. That's his only losses. The Dragon. I still got Charlo at 154. I want to see him back in the ring. With Jamal Charlo and Jamal Charlo, with both of them, you're always going to get a good fight. Action-packed. My people, let's move on to the next one real quick, man. Let's move on to the next one. Devin Haney versus Rollies. I showed y'all yesterday, Haney and Rollies been going back and forth on social media. Like crazy. And now Rollies is like, yo, we signed the contract already. My manager reached out to your pop, signed the contract. And Devin is like, damn, you thirsty. Your deadline for your mandatory must be coming up. You look real thirsty. It's starting to look like we might get this fight, my peoples. Boots, Zesty Schofield Sr. act like he the one going into the ring. His mouth is signing checks his son can't cash. And he almost got his son whooped by Shakur Stevenson. They lucky Floyd fell ill right before the fight. You know, the funny thing about Shakur Stevenson versus Floyd Schofield is that throughout the whole training camp, I remember Shakur kept saying, don't pull out of this fight. Don't pull out. We're going to see each other. Don't pull out. They ended up pulling out. Now, look, you could say Floyd Schofield was sick. He was really ill. He may have been. But why they never try to reschedule the fight? Why they never try to make the fight again? They never mentioned Shakur after that. I think they knew they was going to get their ass whooped. They were going to get sacrificed. The assassin, Jay Smith. One more before I go. Who you got winning, Fundora or Thurman? Like, seriously speaking, because Thurman real good on the mic. I haven't made that prediction, bro. I'm going to make it. But I haven't made that prediction because I'm not disrespecting Keith Thurman. I know how nice he is. And I know in that fight, Sebastian Fundora is going to be the favorite to win it. But Keith Thurman has some advantages too. He's going to be the faster guy in the ring. He's going to be the more experienced guy in the ring. He's the guy who's been with the better opposition. And Keith Thurman can flat out fight. I haven't made that prediction yet. I'm going to tell you, I've seen people saying that Keith is washed and that he's going to just get beat up out there. It's not going down like that. I promise you it's going to be a real competitive fight. It's going to be a real good one. I don't have a prediction just yet. Pasta track, I'll give Rolly a shot for this. I think Devin has too much confidence at this point. This is going to be a good fight. You guys know that Rolly packs that power. If he can catch Devin, he could hurt him now. But we also know Devin Haney brought that power up to 147. Power that he didn't have in lower divisions. We saw it in the welterweight division. And I think now he's also more willing to sit on his punches. Oh, Wandulas, nice. I like Rollies. Why not? I like this fight. I really like this fight. And I think that it's quite possible that it gets made. We might get this fight next. Boost, bro, he needs to go to 154 and think Xander Saya is sweet. I promise you, Xander will embarrass him. I'm not going to say that Xander Saya will embarrass him. I think that's a real good fight, real competitive fight. But they're going to have to slow their roll with Xander Saya in 154 because it looks like Devin is going to stick around at the welterweight division and fight Rollies. Wes Dustin, if Keith's still Keith, he wins it. Yo, I'm telling you, people disrespecting Keith Thurman. Got one loss in his entire career to Manny Pacquiao, to an all-time great. The Dragon, Schofield did after the Farmer KO, but I know it's clout chasing. That's what I'm saying. Like, they could say anything on the microphone, but you don't see them trying to actually make the fights. Boots, one time Gunner shocked the world. He a great fighter with power on both hands. And that's another thing that I was going to say, Boots, 40 cal. Keith Thurman, if you saw him on his last fight when he knocked out that kid from Australia, he knocked him out brutally, by the way. And he said it afterwards that he going for the knockout. He going to go for knocking people out because he had been focused on outboxing him, on just boxing him. But now he's going to start knocking people out. He's going for the knockout. And Keith got that type of power. The Hydro Grind. Rolly trying to get out that mandatory. They already gave him until March 30th to accept it or get stripped. I mean, he got a mandatory But he want to fight a big name. He want to fight a star. He want to fight Devin, Oscar, Conor Van. He want to fight a big name. The hydro grind, his mandatory already took a step aside money one time and doesn't want to take it again. Pasta track. I take Rollies, honestly. I just have never seen what I think is a superstar in Haney. This is a good fight. This is an interesting fight. But I think, let me say this, and you got to consider it. I don't think anyone sees Rollies outboxing Devin. So unless he hurt him badly, and then, take over from that point on, he's not going to win a boxing match. He's not going to win on the cards. Boots, Brock Jarvis, there you go. Keith Thurman, and that's a young fighter, undefeated, not very experienced, but a good fighter, a good young undefeated fighter. And Keith Thurman just beat the shit out of him. Beat him up. If you watch that fight, obliterated him in brutal fashion. So, and let me just say this. When Keith Thurman fought Brock Jarvis, he had been inactive, I think, for like 2 years. Showed up looking like he fought 3 months before that fight. You didn't see no ring rust. So what I saw from Keith Thurman in that fight is that he could come off of inactivity, have a great training camp, and look like his old self. Go in there, operating like his usual self. The hydro grind, Rolly's only chance is a KO. And Rolly got that power. But Haney showed he can take it versus Norman. You see, Rolly's, or he can hurt him bad enough to the point where from that point on, he take over the fight. And he can win like that too. If he hurt him badly, and Devin Haney has to survive through the rounds, then Rollies can win it. Pasta track. Haney couldn't keep riding off of him. And a good boxer should have been able to at least fight him off with the jab, not just getting smacked around the ring. Yeah, but you got to remember, something that has to be taken into consideration is that Ryan Garcia showed up 3 pounds overweight and popped dirty. So it's hard to judge Devin off of a performance where his opponent cheated. We have to be honest. He couldn't keep riding off of him, but Ryan cheated. Boost 40 cap, but he wasn't undefeated. He lost by KO to Liam Parrow. Who lost by KO to Liam Parrow? Who we talking about, my G? The hydro grind, Rolly improved a lot since he teamed up with Cuban trainer Ismael Salas. Yeah, man, Salas got him on point. Salas got him on point. When he fought Ryan Garcia, I want you to think about this. When he fought Ryan Garcia, Brock Jarvis, okay. I want you to think about this. When he fought Ryan Garcia, you saw Rollies that was consistent with the jab to the body, consistent with the body work, which actually set up the left hook to the dome piece, and consistent with his movement. He wasn't just trying to bum rush and slug it out with Ryan. He boxed. And he boxed better than we've ever seen Rollies box before. So yes, Ismael Salas got Rollies on point. By the way, Salas is an iconic Cuban coach. Got knocked out by Parrow at 140. But look who? Parrow was an undisputed champion. Lost to a great fighter. Pasta track. Okay, so if Ryan was 140, Haney only goes down 3 times. Look, if Ryan and Haney fight, it will be at the welterweight division. But right now it's looking like we're gonna get Rollies versus Devin. Pasta track. I kind of like Romero. It's a clown. But I've seen him looking like he's improving. The Hydro Grind, Paro is very good. That's a fact, man. Paro is a very good fighter, a legitimate world champion. But here's the interesting thing about this fight happening, fellas. Here's the interesting thing. If Rollies and Devin are going to fight each other, you know what other fight is going to happen? What other fight is probably going to happen next? And I'm loving it. I wanted it badly. Badly. We're probably going to get this, fellas. We're probably going to get this fight. Side, Crayon Romero, Shakur, Stevenson, and Ryan. My peoples. This is a showdown that I am so looking forward to. It's a good fight. It's a good fight. My peoples, y'all know what this is? This is boxing for breakfast. I got my breakfast right here. Check it out. Bam! 2 boiled eggs. That's my breakfast this morning. That's what we having. The Dragon, sleeper fight. We ain't talking about it. Dalton Smith versus Matias. Hell of a fight. I predicted Dalton Smith was going to whoop Suriel Matias. I made that prediction. I made that prediction, bro. It was a hell of a fight. Suriel Matias fought hard. Got stopped. Boots, I promise Shakur beat all these dudes. I mean, nobody beating Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is a reincarnation of Floyd Mayweather, bro. That's the like if Floyd is Michael Jordan, Shakur is Kobe Bryant. We ain't seen nobody who has the level of defense that could be compared to Floyd Mayweather. Nobody until Shakur. Pasta track. Today Ryan loses, but I think Ryan should take a warm-up fight and then I will make judgment. But you have to understand, right now, Ryan just became a world champion versus Mario Barrios. Is the time to make that fight. You're a world champion in the welterweight division, and Shakur fights at 140. Which, by the way, is looking like they're not going to fight at 140. Ryan is not going to bring himself down to 140. It's looking like they're going to do it at a catch weight. They still negotiating, trying to make it happen. But if it does happen, I think it'll be at a catch weight. Ow. Wifey taught me your... I don't know. You didn't finish that sentence, Al. Shakur hands. You ain't got a GM in you. You know, only was clowning me yesterday. Side, Shakur whooping him. I mean, whether or not Shakur whooping him, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an interesting fight to watch. Wifey taught me how to make mango. How to make mango. I don't know what mango is, unless you're talking about mango. Mango is the shit. Andre Finest, I don't see the PBC feeding their champion Rolly to Haney when they have other fighters under their roof for Rollies. Like Rolly versus Pitbull, or Tank versus Rolly 2, or Rolly versus Roach, in my opinion. So here's the deal, bro. I don't even know what's going on with the PBC. Think about this. Carmel Moulton just fought. Okay, you're talking about Mangu. Carmel Moulton just fought. He fought in a Manny Pacquiao card. And before that, his last fight was in a Manny Pacquiao card. A lot of the PBC fighters are fighting on the zone, on different networks, because PBC is not doing enough cards to keep their fighters active. In all of 2025, how many PBC cards did we see the whole year? 4 or 5 maybe? Matchroom is giving you a card almost every other week. Top Rank giving you a card almost every other week. And by the way, people thought Top Rank was cooked because their contract with ESPN expired. They're already working on a new contract with ESPN, like a 5-year deal. So Top Rank is going to remain on ESPN. So all these promotional companies, Top Rank is locked in with ESPN. Matchroom is locked in with the Zone. Oscar De La Hoya looked like he's going to re-sign with the Zone. And PBC, they're on a real lonely island, bro. On Amazon Prime, it's a real lonely island. You don't got nobody else to match up your fighters with. You're not even doing that many cards throughout the year. So it's tough for you to just leave everybody inactive because you don't have no cards. You got to let them fight elsewhere. Right now, the PBC is cooked. The only good opportunity I saw for PBC was if Top Rank, when their contract ended with ESPN, if they would have signed with Amazon Prime. Then now PBC got a dance partner, a lot of opponents that we can match them up with. But PBC, you guys know, they like to do the in-house stuff. Who are you going to fight in-house on Amazon Prime? Who you fighting? So right now, PBC is the most inactive label out of all of them. Everybody making cards, everybody making fights. Not PBC though. Boost 40 cal. If Tank wants to retire with the biggest payday, he gonna need Core. And Core has said this from jump. Look, Shakur Stevenson, his star power keeps going up. The price is up. Yesterday's price is not today's price for Shakur Stevenson. So ultimately, he's going to be the biggest name that Tank Davis could face. But I will tell you, man, there's nothing about Tank and his team that tell me they want to fight Shakur. Nothing. Eye for eye. Salute, family. Bam. Andre Finest. PBC got the Benavides card this year. Top Rank doesn't have a home. Don't have ESPN. Andre Finest, they already said it. Top Rank is going to re-sign like a 5-year deal with ESPN. But look, you're talking about the Benavides card this year. That's one card. Look, we're in February right now. How many cards at this stage? Oh no, we're in March already. The first 2 months of the year, we already see multiple cards from Golden Boy, multiple cards from Top Rank, multiple cards from Matchroom. What have we seen from PBC? We ain't seen nothing. And Benavides is one of the few PBC fighters who's actually active. But look at the PBC roster. A lot of us can't even name the PBC roster because we don't even know who's still with PBC. We don't even know who's still with PBC without Googling it. Because a lot of PBC fighters left. A lot of people that was with them is no longer with the PBC. And a lot of people that are with them are inactive. Not fighting. Eye for eye. Oscar won over Virgil. Do this mean he got to fight Boots now? This means Virgil might be inactive for quite some time. He's under contract until 2027. And he's stuck with Golden Boy after he tried to backdoor them with Eddie Hearn. So Virgil Ortiz might not even be fighting nobody. Shakur hands. I'm out, chat. Salute, family. Bam. Boost 40 cal. Also, that fight, Core versus Tank, on Netflix will be the biggest, most lucrative fight in boxing. That's a huge fight, bro. Listen, Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson is a monster fight. That's the biggest fight in boxing. That's the biggest fight in boxing. Remember when we was going to get Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford? And that was without a doubt the biggest fight in boxing. This will be the same deal. The same type of situation. Andre Finest, Benavidez will be on Amazon Prime this year. But that's what I'm trying to tell you, my brother. Like, look how many fighters, how many cards we're seeing from the other labels. And you're thinking about just Benavidez. Who else is going to be on Amazon Prime this year? You probably couldn't tell me without Googling it and trying to figure out. They might not even have anything else set up outside of that one. Shakur hands. But we saw that PBC with that right card. A lot of PBC fighters. Boots, I like your channel. Hit the like, people. Have a blessed, pleasant day. Please stay safe, everyone. Salute, Boots. Appreciate you dropping in, my brother. And y'all already heard it, man. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Pasta track, yeah. Tank Shakur fight will be way more competitive. That's a good fight, man. That's a real good fight. I know Shakur's going to beat him. And that's the reason why Tank don't want to fight Shakur. He know he's going to take that out. William P. Good morning, Jay Smith and family. Bam. Salute, my brother. Andre Finest. I can't wait for Tank versus Shakur. And it's nothing. Shakur team is showing me he wants the Tank fight. When he was free agent, he ran to Matchroom instead of PBC. That shows he don't want smoke. Nah, that's cap, bro. That's a fake narrative. That's a fake narrative. To say that he got to run to PBC to fight Tank, that's a fake narrative, and I'm going to prove it to you. Tank fought Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia was with Golden Boy. Ryan Garcia was with Golden Boy, and Tank fought him. So why are you saying that Shakur got to run to PBC? You're taking Tank's side. You see? You're not looking at it from an unbiased point of view. You're taking Tank's side, and you're making a pro-Tank argument. Oh, Shakur should have went to PBC. Ryan Garcia didn't go to PBC, and he fought Tank. He was with Golden Boy. So why Shakur got to run over there to fight Tank? He don't have to. Now, I'm going to prove to you that what you're saying is bias. Tank Davis himself has never said he want to fight Shakur. You won't find a single video where Tank say, yo, I want to fight Shakur. Yo, Shakur, sign the contract. Yo, Shakur, I'm sending you an offer. But you're saying that he ran to Matchroom. Why are you saying that he ran to Matchroom? Why Tank can't just send him a contract like he did with Ryan Garcia? Ryan Garcia didn't sign with PBC. That's a pro-Tank Davis argument that you're making, bro. Tank Davis has never expressed interest in wanting to fight Shakur. And you know that. We all know that. Never. Shakur's like, yo, Shakur even went as far as saying, I'll fight you, and I'm not putting no number out there, so they won't try to say that I try to outprice myself. Send the contract and I'm signing it. I'm going to remind you, when Tank Davis was going to fight and the fight fell off, Shakur Stevenson didn't have an opponent. Tank Davis didn't have an opponent. They could have fought each other. They could have fought each other. And Tank chose not to. Chose not to fight him. So when you say, yeah, Shakur don't really want to fight, bro, Shakur been asking for it, and Tank has not been asking for it. Tank, and let me just say this. Andre Finest, you can't be on denial. Tank Davis is one of the very few stars in boxing who can fight whoever he wants. Tank Davis, if he wanted to, he could say, Shakur, I'm sending you a contract here. Let's fight. And that fight gets made, bro. That fight gets made. Andre Finest, we can disagree. It's okay. We still brothers, of course, my G. But I want you to see this. You can at least acknowledge it. Tank Davis fights whoever he wants. He never sent Shakur a contract. He never tried to make that fight. He never expressed interest in that fight. Why not? Why not? He could fight whoever he wants. There's very few people in boxing that can do that. Tank is one of them. Tank is one of them. Rather than fight Shakur Stevenson, who he sent the contract to? Lamar Roach from the 130 division. Come on, come up from 130 and fight me. But Shakur's right there dying to fight me. Bro, Tank don't want to fight Shakur. We could disagree all you want to disagree. Tank don't want to fight Shakur. And that's been very clear. And look, let me show you. It's on video. It's on video where Tank had his mythical list. His invisible list. And he was like, yeah, Devin is on the list. Tio's on the list. This person is on the list. And they asked him Shakur on the list, and he didn't even want to say Shakur's name. He was like, yeah, I don't want to say his name, but yeah, he on the list. At the end, he on the list too. Right? He's saying that Shakur on the list. Yo, like a week later, they asked him, yo, well, you going to fight Shakur? Yo, man, what's he done for me to fight him? What's he done? Don't be asking me about him. Then he started using duck language. What you mean what he done? You're a multi-division champion too. He's accomplished. Now Tank Davis started getting mad when they asked him about Shakur. Bro, he don't want to fight Shakur. Andre Finest, they made Shakur an offer. I know you remember that. Andre Finest. I debunked that shit so long ago. They never made Shakur an offer to fight Tank. They made Shakur an offer to go to PBC, and Tank wasn't in that offer. It was an offer to become a PBC fighter, not a guaranteed fight with Tank. Shakur has never been offered to fight Tank Davis. I know you know that, and you guys like to mix it up and turn it into fake news, bro. It never happened. Tank Davis never offered a fight to Shakur. The PBC offered Shakur a contract, and Tank Davis' fight was not guaranteed in that contract. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Pasta track. Tank being a slow starter is his weakness. That's why most people felt like he lost to Lamar Roach. That's the reason why. He started super slow. The first 4 or 5 rounds, he was barely throwing any punches. Barely throwing any punches the first 4 or 5 rounds. And then he started to get active. They started trading leather. The championship rounds, we remember the good old Tank Davis knee gate. The Vaseline gate. And his history from there. Outbug, a big disappointment from Tank. What could have been? Oh, well. Reef J, salute family, bam. Eye for eye. You think Ryan going to take the offer of moving up for a new belt? I think Shakur Stevenson is going to end up fighting Ryan Garcia at a catchweight. I really believe that fight may happen. Saga, Greasegate. Concha de loco. I got Vaseline in my eyes. Yeah, right. Even Andre Finest don't believe he had Vaseline in his eyes. Andre Finest, I'm off the subject, but don't put me with others. Side Greasegate. Pasta track Diddy Gate. Side Baby Oil Gate. Eye for eye. That's because Lamar Roach had Tank Davis' blueprint. So, look, let me say this. Let me address that part too. People exaggerated the Tank Davis-Lamar Roach relationship. That was exaggerated on social media. And I'm going to tell you why it was exaggerated. In the amateurs, they faced each other. In the amateurs. In the pros, right? People felt like they real good friends because they both from Baltimore. And that narrative started getting put out there. That they real good friends, that they spar all the time, that they... Lamar Roach said it himself. Tank Davis and Lamar Roach, they never been friends. They never been friends. The thing is, because, well, yeah, DC versus Baltimore. The thing is that because they're from the same general area, yeah, Roach is from DC. Because they went to some of the same gyms, they saw each other in some of the same places, and Lamar Roach said it himself, they cordial with each other. So when they see each other, they will say, what's up, yo, what's up, what's up? That's it. But they never was friends. They never hung out together, chill with each other, none of that shit. Now, you know, for example, Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis, they friends. They hang out together. They be calling each other to talk about non-boxing shit. They friends. They real close. And people try to sell the narrative like Tank Davis and Lamar Roach was mad friends and they was mad close. And that's why Lamar Roach knows how you fight because they spar each other all the time. Nope. That was actually fake news. Fake news, my peoples. They know of each other. And they cordial when they see each other. That was the extent of their relationship before they fought. The letter M, Cockroach Gate. Andre Finest, born and raised in D.C., you dig? Ooh, a D.C. cat in the building. Shakur hands, all these gates, including Baby Oil Gate. William P., I'm always rock with Baltimore. Oh, Wandule, Rollies actually looked disciplined versus Ryan. Listen, man. Rollies, I can say that was the best version of himself versus Ryan Garcia. That was the best Rollies that we ever seen. I told y'all, man, Ismael Salas, iconic Cuban coach, got Rollies on point. On point. Army Dad, Jay Smith, thanks for keeping the boxing game honest. I can count on you for calling cap when necessary. Your show is so on point. I listen to the show on my way to work. Salute, family. That's what we're here for. We're here to spit the truth and spit the facts. And at least have an educated opinion. Eye for eye. I see what you're saying. They familiar with each other. Exactly. They familiar with each other. They know about each other. But they was never friends. After Lamar Roach put the beats on Tank, you guys saw that narrative. People saying, nah, he only did that because they friends and they know each other like that. And Tank gave him an opportunity because they friends, so Tank wanted to look out for him. Huh? Nah, it was no opportunity. We brought you up from the 130 division to 135 with the plans of knocking you out. You just showed up with different plans for this fight. Pasta track. Look what they gonna do to your channel, Jay. Oh, Wandula. So we agree coaches can make a difference in the fighters if the fighters can't listen? Look. Coaches can make all the difference in the world. A coach can help you with your mechanics. They can help you with your technique. They can help you with your defense. They can help you become more consistent, whether it's the jab or the body punching. There's a lot of stuff that a coach will do for a fighter to make them better. Rollies has been made a better fighter by his coach. 100%. The Dragon, I just got home from work. Third shifter here. Ooh, tough, bro, tough. Listen, in my whole life, I worked third shift one time. And I remember my first week, like my third day, I got fired. You know why I got fired? Like at 2 in the morning, man, I went out for my break, smoked a blunt, got too twisted. And I was tired as hell. Like, nah, man, I gotta go to sleep. I'm getting out of here. I went home, went to sleep. No, I went to my car, passed out in my car. I was supposed to take like a 30-minute nap. Psh, woke up like at 7 in the morning. Oh, shit. Fuck it, I'm going home. Turned my car on and left. And got fired. Fake news got me again. But Rollies is who Ryan need to fight. He need that get back or live under the narrative that he's scared of Rollies. Look, I like that fight. I like that rematch, but I don't like it as much as Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. That's the fight I really want to see. Jay has 39 likes. Come on, my peoples. We've been at it for almost an hour and a half. Double tap that screen. Oh, Wandule. You did. I didn't believe Jay Smith on that Matias fight. Never will I doubt Jay Smith again. Look, and I expected Dalton Smith to put all type of hands on Suriel Matias. And that time, I was with my brother, Camachito, Chosen One Production. You know, he Puerto Rican, and I was on his show. So it was hard for me to say that Matias was going to get whooped when I was hanging out with Puerto Rican family. Everybody was going for Matias except me. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Side, smoking blunts get you like that. Man, listen, I remember I drove to New York and got some purple haze. Turns out you don't want to be smoking that at no 2 in the morning with a little sleep. That shit is going to knock you out. Out booger. Coaching doesn't matter that much in some sports, but it's extremely important in boxing. In boxing, bro, coaching is extremely important. Especially when you're in a fight and your opponent is getting the best of you and you got to make adjustments. If you don't have a coach that understands how to make those adjustments, you're going to get cooked out there. You need somebody who's from the outside looking in, who can see things that in the heat of the action, you don't see it. William P., he needs that get back. I mean, look, man, I want him to get that get back, but that get back is not as big as Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. It's not, bro. BN Boxing News, Rollies scared of Devin. Wait a minute, because it looked like Rollies versus Devin may actually happen next. And look, let me show you something. DN Boxing News, I want you to see this. Look at the message right there from Rollies to Devin. Yo, Devin, we call your daddy at noon. Tell him to pick up. We got our side of the deal done. And Devin is like, damn, you thirsty. You thirsty like that. That deadline must be coming up. So Rollies is really trying to make that fight with Devin Haney, bro. He really trying to get that smoke. Al, does anybody really want to see Rolly versus Ryan? I mean, there's people that want to see it. There's people that want to see Ryan try to get that get back. And I want to see it too. I want to see Ryan do that rematch with Rollies. But I don't want to see it as much as Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. Jason has Jay Smith double check everyone before they come in and they don't have baby oil. The Dragon. I watched Dalton Smith a few fights before Matias fight. Me too. I watched a few of his fights, and based on what I saw, I was like, he's going to whoop him. The thing about Suriel Matias is that he's too one-sided. He relies too much on his power. You got to remember, at one point, Suriel Matias had a 100% knockout percentage. Knocking out everybody. But what happened when you couldn't knock him out? You was involved in tough fights. Because I felt like Alberto Puello beat Suriel Matias. If we keeping it 100, he lost that fight. And that's why I felt like Dalton was gonna whoop him. I said Dalton Smith is a guy, he likes to bang, just like Subriel, but he can box. And he's gonna outbox him. Subriel Matias has shown. By the way, remember what Liam Parrow did to Subriel Matias? Beat the shit out of him too. Like the people who have beat Subriel Matias, who walked out of there with the W, they beat the shit out of him. The letter M, how does Roach match up with Garcia, Haney, Shakur, or even Rollies? Well, you gotta remember, Lamar Roach is fighting at 140. I don't think he'll be moving up to 147. So we gotta match him up with Shakur. Like Rollies, Ryan, Devin. I don't think none of them are gonna move back down to 140. I think that's it. Their career is gonna either stay at 147. Some of them will move up. None of them are going back down. So Lamar Roach, we gotta match him up with Shakur, and that's a fight that could be made. They've already expressed interest in fighting each other. That fight could even be made at 135. Oh, Guandule. Smash plantains, mango. Ooh, that's a combination. That's a combination. Oh, mango. Matter of fact, if you do the mango with boiled eggs, that's serious shit right there. Boiled eggs, fried cheese. Andre Finest. Who wins, Beterbiev or Benavidez? Benavidez. Nobody beating Benavidez, bro. Benavidez beat Beterbiev, Bivol, and then Jairo Pataya, he gonna beat him too. Surdo, Benavidez gonna beat the shit out of him. There's a few fighters in boxing that nobody's beating. Nobody beating them. And I'm gonna tell you right now, David Benavidez, nobody beating him. Now you know it. Nobody beating him unless he move up to fight. Unless Bam move up to fight him, Bam got a good chance. But right now, in his division, nobody beating him. Nobody beating Benavidez in his division. Nobody's beating Jerome Boots Ennis. Nobody's beating Shakur Stevenson. Those four right there. Forget about it. Nobody beating them. Bam Rodriguez. Nobody beating him. Ain't shit you could do with him. There's a few fighters like that. Al, is learning footwork the most important part when you're starting out boxing? Yes. Yes, it is. Because if you don't know how to use your feet, the next most important thing is the jab. And you're not going to have an effective jab if you don't have the right footwork. Because that's the one thing about a jab. The jab is super important. And we see that great fighters always have a great jab. But guess what? Something that you don't notice from just watching TV, if you don't got good footwork, your jab ain't shit. So you could learn how to throw a jab, right? You could practice the jab all day long. Now you know how to throw the jab, but then you step in the ring with somebody and you can't land a single clean jab to save your life. Why? Because you don't got the footwork behind it. That's the thing. You need the footwork to step into it. You need the timing. So, number one thing in boxing is the footwork. And then everything else, you develop it off of that. So, good question. And that's facts. You need that jab. The letter M, can Roach move up? I don't know if Roach is going to move up from 140 anytime soon. Because remember, if I'm not mistaken, he's only had one fight in that division. Pitbull Cruz. He hasn't fought anyone else. So I don't think with just one fight at 140, we're going to see him moving up anytime soon. And when Tank Davis comes back, by the way, I expect him to be at 140. So because of that, don't be surprised if Lamar Roach stays in that division trying to get that rematch. Let's see who Tank Davis is going to fight first when he comes back. It's probably going to be some type of tune-up fight. A little easy win. And then maybe Lamar Roach could get that rematch. Then on the ground, Rolly will knock out Devin if he catches him. He got the power to knock Devin out. But that's the key words. If he catches him. Can he? Oh, Wandula, Matchroom been throwing a lot of whack cards. But there's been some good ones in there too. If you do a lot of cards, there's gonna be some that's not gonna be as good as others. But they also been putting together some good cards and some good fights. Okay, if Rolly and Ryan fight, just please don't have it again in Times Square in the outdoors. I'm gonna be honest, yo, I liked it. I like that setting. Like the fighters, surrounded by the skyscrapers and everything. There's supposed to be another card that they're gonna do in Alcatraz. I don't know if that was canceled. Somebody's gonna fight. Oh, Usyk is gonna fight in the pyramids, but he's gonna fight a kickboxer. An easy win, a cherry pick. Andre Finest, absolutely too one-sided for sure. He uses his face for defense. The Dragon, exactly. Eye for eye. I would like to see Rolly versus Ryan again, because I had Ryan winning. Devin, a funny looking dude though, especially when he trying to look mean. Yo, I'm gonna tell you this, when Ryan Garcia put the beating on him and left him like real swollen, yo, Devin Haney was out there looking like Leonardo, Donatello, and Michelangelo all at once. Face like this, swole up. Jay is in the house. Boxing politics is like Chinese Godfather. He gives you an offer you can't understand. Forget about an offer you can't refuse. Side, Jai versus David would be crazy. We're going to end up getting that fight. Jai Opetayo versus David Benavidez is a fight that we're going to get. I pretty much guarantee you that. Whoa, the super chat vibes from BM Boxing News. Salute, my brother. Listen, this ain't about the money. It's never been about the money. This is about the love of the sweet science. But hopping on the super chat vibes, you showing me that you appreciate what I'm doing out here. Salute, my brother. I appreciate you. DM Boxing News. Good stuff, man. Shakur will smoke Ryan. Benavidez. I don't know what you was going to say about Benavidez. You only said that part right there. Look, Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia. But I tell you what, I think Ryan Garcia is going to be more competitive than Teofimo Lopez. Because remember, styles make fights. And I think Ryan has the style and the size to make it interesting. He could make it interesting. Jay said that has 44 likes. My peoples, double tap that screen. Remember, there is no ghost watching on Boxing for Breakfast. No ghost watching. Boxing Hacker, Beterbiev versus Benavidez. It's a 50-50 fight. I got Benavidez cooking him. You got to understand, bro. Beterbiev 40 years old. Well, I think he either already 41 or about to be 41. Father Time is undefeated. 41-year-old Beterbiev. He's not going to beat 29-year-old Benavidez, bro. Forget it. Gets cooked. Brutally. And the thing about Beterbiev is that he's there to out-tough you. He's there to outgun you. That's what he does. Benavidez is bigger than Beterbiev. Longer reach than Beterbiev. Higher punch output than Beterbiev. Benavidez not the type of fighter that you're going to out-tough. In his physical prime, ain't nobody going to out-tough him. It's just not happening. That's why he's going to cook Jai Opetayo too. To beat David Benavidez is going to have to be a slick fighter that can actually outbox him, that can make him chase, that can make him move. That's the type of fighter that's going to beat Benavidez. Anybody who's flat-footed and is going to try to out-tough him, your ass is cooked. Them 50 punch combinations from Benavidez is going to cook Beterbiev, bro. Eye for eye. For sure, Jay, ain't nobody beating little Bruce Lee. Now, y'all know it? He ain't not losing to nobody, bro. I say Bam Rodriguez, if he moves up, he got a chance. Bam has a chance because he's a special fighter too. But outside of Bam, in his division, I don't see nobody beating Inoue. It's just not even realistic to me. The Dragon. I believe David is ducking Jai Opataya, though. Nah. Look, I pretty much guarantee you that fight is going to happen. Guaranteed. He already said what he's going to do. He's going to beat Surdo. Surdo going to get pummeled. Remember I told you this. Surdo getting battered, bro. Remember that. He's going to go to 175 and look for those two names specifically. Bivol, Beterbiev. After smoking them, which by that point he'll get on the pound-for-pound list, he's going to go after Jai Opataya and cook him. I put it to you like this. Most people can't name a Jai Opataya opponent. And I'm not saying that he's fighting bums or that he's cherry picking or anything like that. He's beating the people that he's supposed to be. He's a world champion. But Jai Opataya has not faced the level of opposition that David Benavidez has. And when they face each other, we're going to see that. Shakur hands. Boo's going to prove all y'all wrong when he lose. Damn. Who you got beating Boots? Who you think is going to beat Boots? Because he would have cooked Virgil. If Boots and Virgil would have fought each other, Boots was going to cook his ass. Leo Perkins. Devin going to probably have 1-2 more fights at 147. Then he's gone to 154. I mean, he's already talking about Xander Sayas at 154. So obviously, even though that fight is not going to be next, you can see that they're considering making that move. You can already see it. And some of us were saying yesterday, Devin doing everything to stay as far away as possible from Shakur Stevenson so that fight can be made. He left 135 to avoid that mandatory. Shakur at 140, that was like, damn, that's just one division away from him. I need to go another division. I need to be 2 divisions away from Shakur so we can't fight. Eye for eye. Hell yeah, footwork is the first step to boxing, of course. Footwork. When you go to a gym, if you're learning how to box from zero, the footwork and the jab is the first things that they teach you. Posture track. Deontay is a perfect example of why the jab is important. Andre Finest. I'm out. Want to send a super chat, but mine doesn't work. But we'll send you a cash app if I knew. I appreciate it, my brother. Don't worry. Listen, what's important is that you was here and you enjoy the show with us. It don't matter if you don't say shit. I don't got cash app, by the way, but it don't matter if you don't say shit. The fact that you here, that's what counts. I appreciate you, my G. Daniel Negron. Jay, who will beat Devin? Shakur. Shakur will beat Devin, but he don't want to fight him. Oh, Wandule. Ya tú sabes, maní. Tank versus everyone. I mean, Tank is a great fighter. You got Tank versus everyone, but he got to fight them. He got to fight them. He not fighting them, bro. That's the point. Look, the thing about Tank is that he passed the eye test with flying colors. Tank passed the eye test with flying colors. You look at Tank, it's like, whoa. But then when you look at the best fighters out there, Tank haven't fought them. Tank haven't fought them. He beat Ryan Garcia. And Ryan Garcia is now a world champion. But again, we all know we wanted to see Tank with Shakur. We wanted to see him with Devin. We wanted to see him with Teofimo Lopez. And he ain't trying to fight none of them. Boxing Hacker. Honestly, if you want to be good, you got to train your footwork and positioning more than punching. That's facts. That's facts. Look, I'm going to give you an example to show that what you're saying is true, Boxing Hacker. And I want you guys to consider this. You could go to a gym and see somebody in the punching bag, in the heavy bag, and they'll look nice in the heavy bag. Pop, 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 look crazy nice. Then you see him in the speed back, looking away, doing all type of shit. And then when they climb the ring and they sparring, they get made to look goofy as hell. Get pummeled in the ring, get battered. Like, goddamn, you was just looking real good in the punching bag. What happened, bro? Because to hit that punching bag, that heavy bag, to hit that speed bag, you don't need no footwork. And they not punching back at you. But now, when you're in the ring, you need the footwork. You need the right distance. You need the range. You need the timing to land those punches on a moving target that's trying to hit you too. So you can look real good with the hands. I see people in the gym, I'm like, damn, this dude is elite right here. Then they get in the ring and get embarrassed. That footwork sets up everything. William P. Shakur needs to get Devin out of here. I mean, it's impossible if Devin don't want to fight him. If Dev don't want to fight him, Shakur can't force it. The letter M. Who should Usyk really be fighting? He got his mandatory. Usyk should be fighting his mandatory in Caballero. And my peoples, Caballero is not such a big name. He's not a superstar. But look him up. Look him up. Caballero has a chance to beat Usyk. Because he's young, big, strong, an aggressive fighter. Applies pressure, let the hands fly, super heavy-handed. Super heavy-handed. And I'm going to show you, Caballero is such a tough opponent. He's such a tough opponent that Usyk petitioned the WBC for a voluntary title defense first before facing his mandatory. Like, bro, you got a mandatory. A real good fighter. And you picked a kickboxer with one professional fight to fight next. So what does that tell you? Usyk know what type of opponent Caballero is. He know his mandatory is for real. And when a fighter is already saying, yo, I want to fight this guy with no real professional boxing experience, you know what that tell me about Usyk? He got one foot out the door. He's close to retiring. I think he's 36 years old right now. He's close to retiring from the sport of boxing. So he's like, yeah, let me get this little easy fight, this little bag real quick, and then I'm going to fight my mandatory in Caballero. Caballero got the chance to beat him. Remember, I told you this. The Dragon, I don't think it's the pyramids. It's the Coliseum. I mean, that's what they said. They even, the promotional stuff is Usyk and the kickboxing guy in front of the pyramids. I don't know exactly where it is, but based on the promotions, that's what I thought. Boxing Hacker, you mean when Ryan Garcia cheated and was on PEDs? Beat the shit out of Devin, though, bro. Beat the shit out of him. Like, that's the thing. He cheated because you forgot to mention he also showed up 3 pounds overweight, which he admitted that Floyd told him to do that. Floyd told him, yo, show up 3 pounds overweight. He struggled. He pushed to make weight. You're not even going to have to. So it's the PEDs and the 3 pounds. But that doesn't take away that he gave Devin a beating of a lifetime, bro. Like, look, right now, Devin Haney's undefeated. The one loss that he had on his record from that fight, it was removed. It disappeared, right? So he don't got a one on that L. But you can't disappear that ass whooping from our minds. Devin Haney rolling around the canvas, in the floor, multiple times, face looking like a Ninja Turtle. You're not going to make us forget that. Took a nasty beating. MAW. If Ron busy chasing Shakur at 140, Devin versus Rollies makes sense, in my humble opinion. But mandatory, Giasov sadly still left waiting. So, look, what I'm hearing is that Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson is probably going to happen at a catch weight. It's looking like it won't be at 140, even though Ryan put it out there that I'll go to 140 and take your belt. But it looks like they already may be in negotiations to do it at a catch weight, and they trying to agree on something. What I'm hearing is that my boy Camachito told me he knows some insiders, and he told me that they already going back and forth, and they just haven't agreed on the actual weight. Because if it's a catch weight, you know it could be at 144, it could be at 143, it could be. Let's see. If Devin Haney's gonna fight Rollies, I feel like Shakur versus Ryan is a perfect fight to make now. Clifton Dennis. That's not to say Rush Teal and it do-ish. You lost me right there, bro. I couldn't read. I tried to read it, but I don't know what that says, my G. Young Guns. Since 2019, Usyk basically only fight once a year, which is why I hate this kickboxing fight. If he fought 3 times a year, it would be fine. I mean, I don't like this fight at all, bro. I don't like it. You fighting a kickboxer, man, get the hell out of here. The Dragon, Caballero versus Usyk, 50-50. That's a real good fight, bro. That's a real good fight to make. Ojo Guandule, Rolly changed his coach. It's working. T.O. just need to change his coach. T.O. should have fired his pops. I say he should have fired his pops after that Cambosis fiasco. Should have been fired them. The Dragon Caballero is a body puncher also. And we've seen Usyk get hurt to the body. Get this in the house. Let's get to 50 likes, my people. We right around the corner. Clifton Dennis, good fight though. Side. Caballero is a monster. I've been trying to tell people, man. Caballero, there's a reason why. There's a reason why Usyk didn't want to fight his mandatory just next. He's like, damn, let me get a bag in case this guy whooped my ass. The Dragon, about to be 40. Clifton Dennis, especially when you're at the top. Side, Usyk versus Beethoven, gonna be fire. Clifton Dennis. Yeah, him to get his brains beat out of him, fighting the best every time. The Dragon, what? But they're wearing gladiator Roman armor in the promo pictures. Yes, but look at the background. In the background, they got the pyramids and everything. Matter of fact, I think I may have some of the promo images here. Maybe. Let me see. It's something like that. I think it is supposedly in the pyramids and shit. In the pyramids of Giza or some shit like that. Look at it right there. You see? Look. This is some of the promo. You see the type of gear that they wearing? Look at this, my brother. Let me show you. Bam. Look at it right there. Glory Giza. In Egypt. Look at it right there. There you have it right there. But again, man, like when you see a fighter of the caliber of Usyk, it's like, man, why are you fighting a kickboxer? That dude got like 1 professional boxing match. Usyk is going to beat the shit out of him. MAW, every fighter gets to have a voluntary. Usyk versus Rico is another crossover like AJ versus Nagano to merge fans. Honestly, I don't like this fight. I don't like this fight at all. Clifton Dennis, dirty pull them PEDs in a boxing match. Eye for eye. Who this bro? Man, listen. Dude Rico is supposedly some type of kickboxing legend. He got 1 professional boxing match. He gonna get Conor McGregor in this fight. Aroma Sound. Usyk wants the big payday too. He's seen people like Conor Ben getting 15 mils with no accomplishments and saying, why not him too, after all he's done in the sport. Now, Usyk is getting money, though. Usyk been getting some big money, my G. He got mad money versus AJ. He got mad money versus Tyson Fury. Usyk been getting money, bro. The Dragon. Usyk made way more money than Conor Ben ever in his career. Yeah, yo. Usyk has been making money for years at this point. Millions. Clifton Dennis, we can't forget, but understand the on level playing field couldn't be the reason. Eye for eye. The only way Devin could have beat Ryan Garcia that night if he had the same Devin that fought Regis. I mean, we always have to consider, it's like I say, Ryan did beat the shit out of him, but he showed up 3 pounds overweight and tested positive. So those factors have to be taken into consideration too. Leo Perkins, Bill Haney, and Shakur's grandfather are low-key family. Devin and Shakur was raised together. It's straight competition between those two, but Shakur knows he can't fuck with Devin. I mean, I don't know why would you think that Shakur can't fuck with Devin when Shakur was trying to force the fight with Devin, and Devin ended up vacating his titles and running from the whole division just to not fight Shakur. I think that shows right there who knows that they can't fuck with who. Devin has done everything to be in as many divisions away from Shakur as possible. And by the way, I'm going to remind you, Leo Perkins, because I can already see you flying with that narrative. I'm going to remind you that Bill Haney got caught on video saying, yo, we don't want Shakur. We don't want that fight. When we used to be sparring and all that, Shakur used to be getting the best of Devin. We don't really want that right now. Bill Haney got caught on video saying that, bro. Young Guns. I keep hearing people say Usyk can do whatever he wants. Same stuff Canelo fans said when he wasn't fighting Benavidez. That's the thing. There's always going to be people that are going to say, yeah, do whatever you want. Then there's going to be people who say, yo, I want the fights. I want the real fights. Usyk versus a kickboxer, man, I don't care about that fight. I really don't care. At least if you want to do a tune-up, do a tune-up versus a boxer. Do a tune-up versus a former champion. Do a tune-up versus a guy that we're like, yeah, we know this guy. Like the tune-up, look, I would have respected more his fight versus Wilder than this. I would have respected that way more. Like, okay, Wilder, he a former world champion. He hasn't been a champion in a long time. I'm expecting Usyk to win, but I know that Wilder still has that one punch that could land and change the outcome of the fight. This dude right here, with one professional boxing match, a kickboxer, man, you're going to get beat up. You're going to get beat up. You don't stand no chance, son. Young Guns, Aroma Sound. Usyk hasn't beaten everybody. You have Caballero, and if Worley beats Dubois May 9th, he deserves next. That's another one, man. That's another one. Listen, Fabio Wardley is a fighter who people are underestimating. I've heard too many people say, nah, Wardley, all he got is power. All he got is power. Did you see the way that he beat Joe Joyce? All he got is not power. He got a lot in the bag of tools. Up TV, how about Manny versus Mayweather? I mean, obviously that fight is happening with both of them being way, way past their prime. Floyd Mayweather, 49 years old. Manny Pacquiao, 47. So they're closer to 50 these days. But we're going to watch. We're going to watch. That's going to be an anticipated rematch simply because they're both such superstars. And now Floyd Mayweather, you guys know the Mayweather brand is built on that undefeated record. That 50-0, that's what the brand is built on. And Floyd Mayweather gonna put that O on the line versus Manny Pacquiao? That's crazy. How many times has Floyd told us in the last few years that he was done? He was gonna stay retired. He's not coming back. He's gonna do his little exhibitions here and there. Not coming back. And now he is. So even though they're in their late 40s, this fight is gonna generate a lot of interest from fans. People are gonna be tuning in. We're all gonna be watching. JS in the house, boxing for breakfast.
Thank you, Jay Smith. You saved my marriage. Now I don't have to try to talk to my wife about boxing. Man, listen, y'all saved my marriage too then. I don't have to board my wife with, yo, this fight's gonna happen and that fight's gonna happen. And she like, I don't know who that is, but okay. Nah, my peoples. We don't gotta do it to our wives like this. Young Guns, if he fight those guys after Moses, Itama will probably be waiting for him. That's the thing, man. There's some young heavyweights out there, and they all want Usyk. They all want him. They all know that he's in his late 30s, at the tail end of his career, and he just got to slow down a step for these guys to whoop him. Side, gotta fight your mandatories. Shaggy, salute my brother, bam. Clifton Dennis, sheesh. In his last 6 fights was Dubois ×2, Fury ×2, AJ ×2. Chris, let him get a minute to refocus. Yeah, man, but a minute to refocus versus a kickboxer, I'm not feeling that, bro. Young Guns, Ron brings different attributes to the fight than Tiny Regis. I'm going to tell you like this, man. Regis is going to get pummeled by Conor Benn. He's getting battered. Remember I told you that. Clifton Dennis. Damn, Devin called the runner. Again, the disrespect. I mean, we saw what he did to Brian Norman Jr. Why would anybody call him a runner? Look what he did to Brian Norman Jr. Beat the crap out of him. Clifton Dennis. Y'all act like Usyk has been doing the Canelo cherry picking. Side, no special treatment. Gotta defend your straps. Nature Boy. Manny might get him this time. Look, man, I've seen people making the prediction that Manny Pacquiao is going to beat Floyd Mayweather in this rematch. If that was to happen, it's going to be one of the most viral wins, one of the most talked about wins in recent history. If Manny can pull it off, the world is going to be talking about it. Eye for eye, I'm 45. I saw the first one, and I said then, and I'm going to say now, Mayweather finna put hands on Pacquiao. Floyd Mayweather gonna put it on him. Clifton Dennis. If you fight killers every fight, you'll kill your body. Nobody does that. No, that's facts. That's facts. You can't fight every time. At some point, you gotta scale it back. But damn, you don't gotta scale it back to a kickboxer with one pro fight. That sucks. Reef J, MMA or not undefeated, 50-0, never lost. But now he gonna fight a rematch with Manny Pacquiao at 49 years old. We gotta see what that's gonna look like. Eye for eye, Mayweather's still the wizard, y'all. Ow. Some say Floyd lost to Castillo in their first fight. I'm gonna be honest, watching that fight, I felt like he lost. Look, I'll put it to you like this. I felt like Floyd lost versus Castillo, the first fight, and I felt like he lost versus Maidana, the first fight. But the judges gave it to him, and then in the rematch, he whooped both their ass. So Floyd was like, you know what, y'all think they beat me? I'm going to beat the shit out of them. Fought the rematch, beat both of them. So there's no questions about that. Side, Regis getting smoked. Oh, man, look. Conor Benn is going to batter Regis. He's going to batter him, my peoples. Eye for eye. That's my life with my wife, Jay. The letter M. My wife said if Mayweather was fighting Tyson Fury, I said, babe, leave boxing alone. Shakur hands. I call him a runner and a clock watcher. I don't care. Clifton Dennis. Floyd didn't fight Spence or Thurman, and he got in with the MMA guy. So, with Conor McGregor at that time, Keith Thurman was his mandatory. He wasn't trying to fight young, hungry Keith Thurman. Hell no. Floyd was like, nah, I'm good. Go somewhere else, Keith. Al Booger. I'm more interested in freaking Usyk versus the kickboxer than Floyd versus Manny. Oh, nah, I can't believe you're saying that, bro. Can't believe that you're saying that. Like, Usyk versus a kickboxer, I think we're all going to watch. Number one, because we love the sport of boxing. But number two, it's interesting. It's interesting to see the fight, how it plays out. But I'm going to show you that the overwhelming majority is not rocking with you on this one, my brother. The viewership between Usyk and the kickboxing dude is not going to be nowhere near the viewership of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Like, that fight is going to generate crazy viewership. This won't even come close to that. Jay is in the house. Floyd is going to make the contract that his old can't go. Damn. Like, even if I lose, you got to keep that O in my resume. Shakur hands. Reef, I ain't called clock watching like pocket watchers. Double AD, did you watch the first Maidana in slow motion? He made it look sloppy, but he was hitting a lot of glove, not really landing like people thought. Bro, who's going to watch? Do you know how long it would take to watch a fight in slow motion? That shit will take you like half a day, bro. So no, I didn't watch it in slow motion, but I've seen it multiple times. And I know that some of those punches didn't land clean, but he landed more punches on Floyd than Floyd landed on him. And he landed the harder punches. And he applied the pressure, dictated the pace throughout the whole fight. So I felt like he won. And not just me. A lot of people felt like he won. Just like Castillo. Castillo landed the cleaner punches than Maidana, by the way. And if you look at the scorecards, yo, the people putting the scorecards have Castillo beating Floyd. And I'm talking about the first fight, by the way. And after the first fight, after it finished, you saw Castillo in his corner celebrating. They was going crazy, like, we got him. And in Floyd's corner, you saw everybody quiet. Like, oh, shit. Let's see what happened. Everybody was, you saw them down. Like, oh, shit, I think they got us. Don't take my word for it. Watch the fight. You don't even have to watch the fight. Go to the end of the fight, right? And watch after the last bell rings. Ding, ding, ding. And see the reaction of the fighters and their corners. One side reacting like, we got him, we won. And the other side is worried. Floyd and his side, they was all like just waiting for the decision to come up. They look worried. Double AD, do you watch the first Maidana? Not yeah. Like I said, man, slow motion, that's crazy. Like, we're going to watch a whole fight in slow motion. Eye for eye. That's what make Floyd great. And that's why Ryan needs to get that back with, get that get back with Rollies. Reef J. The same way Keith Thurman said no to Bud and Arrow. But look at that. Keith Thurman said no to Arrow, right? And then when Arrow had them 3 belts, he was like, yeah, we should make that fight. And Keith didn't have no belt. I want to fight Arrow. What's up? And then Arrow sent him to go kick rocks. Arrow was like, nah, you didn't give me an opportunity when you had titles, and I did. You didn't give me a title shot. I can't give you a title shot neither, son. You can forget about that. My peoples, something that I didn't bring up and I wanted to bring up. I need a Popeye fish sandwich right now. Damn, bro. I haven't eaten Popeyes in so long, man. I miss that shit. My peoples, did you guys see that Edgar Berlanga is calling out Conor Ben? Edgar Berlanga, look what he said. Oh, no, Chris Eubank Jr., my bad, Chris Eubank Jr. Edgar Berlanga is like, yeah, me and Chris Eubank Jr. will be a great fight. What's up? What's up with Edgar Berlanga, man? Clifton Dennis. They was nervous in Floyd corner, but that doesn't mean they lost. They was really worried. I mean, that's it. The judges gave it to them. They won. But when you see that they was worried in the corner, it tells you what type of fight it was for Floyd. Because Floyd normally dominates his opponents. There's normally no doubt who won the fight. In that fight, that first one with Castillo, they didn't look like they knew they won the fight. They was like, oh shit, let's see what happened here. They look worried, bro. They look worried. The letter and Berlanga wants to rematch all his losses. So he says. I don't believe him. I don't believe him. Berlanga never tried to fight, never said nothing about Canelo. And by the way, if you guys saw that fight, he got dominated. You got dominated by Canelo. You fought that fight like you was there to survive, my G. You fought that fight like you was just trying to make it through. Come on now. Edgar Berlanga got his ass whooped by Canelo. There was never a moment in that fight where it felt like he might beat Canelo. He's looking good. There was never that. He was out there getting his ass whooped. And then, what happened with Hamza Shiraz? Y'all remember what Hamza Shiraz did to him? Completely dominated. Beat the shit out of him. Come on now. Marky, thoughts on Devin Haney versus Rollies? We still gonna talk about it. That's a real good fight, man. I think we might get that one next. Jay Sendeja sounds like the king of New York needs money. What you mean the king of New York? Hamza Shiraz is the king of New York after giving Berlanga the beating of a lifetime. Side, he fought like he was just happy to be there. Yeah, man, he fought Canelo like he was just lucky to be there, got a nice payday, and now I'm getting my ass whooped. Double AD, really think Zab would have stuck to the plan, he would have beat Floyd. So, I don't think it's that Zab didn't stick to the plan. I think it's that he ran out of gas. He was putting hands on Floyd and doing real good. He ran out of gas. He wasn't able to maintain that pace. The same thing with Sugar Shane Mosley. Mosley was doing real good. He ran out of gas, and then you saw what happened. Eye for eye, that would be a good fight. Chris Eubank gonna beat his ass. Side, Hamza packed him up brutally. Brutally. So, this is what I don't like about Hamza Shiraz calling out Chris Eubank Jr. Bro, Chris Eubank Jr. is coming off of a stoppage loss to Conor Benn. I never like to see fighters calling out someone who's coming off of a loss. Why not call out one of the guys that's at the top? Mr. King of New York. The letter M, Shiraz beat Berlanga ass, bro. He was not happy to be there, like with Canelo. The thing is, with Canelo, he fought to survive. So he got hit with some good shots, got dropped, but he still went all the way, right? He went the distance. So he could say, yeah, I went the distance with Canelo Alvarez by surviving. With Hamza Shiraz, he went into that fight really believing that he could beat his ass. So he actually decided to trade leather with Shiraz. Walked out of there, took the beating of a lifetime. The beating of a lifetime, my peoples. Leroy, if Devin Haney fights Rollies, Garcia should fight Crocker. Then Dev versus Garcia for undisputed. Bro, we're going to get Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. Watch. Ryan and Shakur, they already talking behind the scenes. That's going to be a big fight. Al Booger, oh, word. I like Devin versus Rollies. Good fight. I think that fight is going to get made. They already sending contracts back and forth. Rollies says that he already signed his portion of the contract. Come on now. I think we're going to get Devin versus Rollies. It's a real good fight. Clifton Dennis. But he don't want no more Hamza. Yeah, I don't think so. After all that talking shit he did, and then Hamza Shiraz beat him up in such brutal fashion. Like, that was such a nasty beatdown, yo. Hamza Shiraz was on some... Beat the shit out of him. That's just the reality, my peoples. That's just the way it went down. So has Hamza fought since the Edgar Berlanga fight? I think that was his last fight. Clifton Dennis. They both coming off of KO losses. Tay John, do you think the IBF should change that 10-pound rehydration clause? Nah. In fact, I'm okay with all sanctioning bodies having a 10-pound rehydration clause. You know why? If you fight at 140 and you rehydrate to 150, bro, you're a whole division above your weight class. I don't want to see... You know why I'm cool with the 10-pound rehydration clause? Because, and that's my perspective, right? You have two fighters, let's say fighting at 140. One guy rehydrates 5 pounds, so he's 145 for the fight. And the other guy rehydrates 15 pounds. So he weighing 155. So now you got a guy weighing 145 versus a guy weighing 155. You basically fighting a dude that's a whole division above you. Y'all remember when Arturo Gatti fought Gamache and beat the shit out of him brutally? Why? Because Arturo Gatti rehydrated like 20 pounds. He looked like he was 2 divisions bigger than his opponent. So the rehydration clause, in reality, it makes sense. It only doesn't make sense to have a rehydration clause if we're fighting at a catch weight and you're making me starve to get to that catch weight. Damn, don't lock me into a rehydration clause too. Because you know, let me give you an example. Ryan Garcia was on a rehydration clause versus Tank Davis. That put him at a disadvantage because he already struggled to make 135. So now that he struggled to make 135, he also got a rehydration clause. So I think there's different scenarios why you could say, forget it, no rehydration clause. But for the most part, it's good to have it. Marie, no bullies allowed, so 10 pound is the best rule. But that's what I'm talking about right there. If you have a 10-pound rehydration clause, you're not going to be able to weight bully your opponent. You're going to be close to each other's weight when you face each other. Jay is in the house. God bless Jay Smith and Box Center family. Bam. Tay John, I think it's a bad rule just on the premise that nobody wants the IBF belt. The letter M. Berlanga might be Muslim with that ass whooping. That was Shiraz's last fight. My peoples, I want to give... Oh, wait. Listen to this. The bonus round right here. The bonus topic. Fellas, all these people coming back after retirement. Could we potentially get Oscar De La Hoya versus Tito Trinidad, the rematch? If you're old enough to have seen the first fight, you know how that played out. I don't got to tell you. You guys know what happened in that fight. Can we potentially get the rematch? I don't know if that rematch is going to happen. It's been buzzing. Tito Trinidad, I think he got on social media, and he said, I'll beat the shit out of you if we fight again. And you know Oscar De La Hoya, he still be looking sharp out there. We might actually get this fight. Yo, that would be crazy. A rematch over 20 years later, that would be crazy. Tay John. No, the letter M. Berlanga might be... No, Kevin Fernandez. Is it true that Floyd is fighting Mike Tyson? I don't know if that exhibition is going to happen because they already announced a different exhibition for Floyd Mayweather in June. So is he still gonna do an exhibition with Mike Tyson in April and do that one in June? I don't know. But goddamn, at this point, it's like, is Floyd Mayweather gonna be more active than a lot of fighters with the exhibition and the real fight with Manny coming up? The letter M. Nah, that's real. Tito versus Oscar. That's real. It's been. I don't know if they're already negotiating or anything like that. I'm not gonna tell you that, but Tito Trinidad did say on social media that he'll whoop De La Hoya. I think De La Hoya responded. So this can actually turn into something. Yes, sir. My peoples, I'm about to end this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. But before I do, let me give you the word of the day. Because I've been skipping the word of the day. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. People be asking for it. So I'm going to give it to you. Let me just start the word of the day by saying, most people who don't reach the greatest version of themselves, usually they don't achieve that because they're too busy helping other people be great. They don't create their own project and they don't succeed in their own project because they're too busy helping people in their projects. So you got a friend that got a restaurant, you go to his restaurant and buy shit to support him. You got another friend that got another business, you buy something from his business to support him. But then they not supporting you. So word of the day, my peoples, don't be the go-to person for people that you can't go to. Don't be the person helping other people win when those people not helping you win. Remember that. There's a lot of people who are successful because those around them pushed them and helped them and supported everything that they did until they got to the point where they didn't need them anymore. But who's pushing you? Who's helping you? Who's motivating you? So again, those are the words of the day. Don't be the go-to person for people that you can't go to. If you can't help me win, I can't help you win either. Do you and let me do me. But stop. That's the one thing. As you get older, you learn how to say no. Say no to people. Because if you always say yes, I found myself in that situation. I found myself in a situation where I'm helping this person on their project. I'm helping that person on their project. I'm helping this other person. So they want to use my talent to help on their project, but they're not using any resource or anything to help me in my project. Why am I helping you? You're not helping me. So you're going to notice people who get to the top in whatever field, they have a circle where we're helping each other and we're benefiting off of each other. So I'll repeat it one last time, my peoples. Don't be the go-to person to people that you can't go to. That's the key right there. Salute to everybody who tuned in this morning. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Salute to JJ Sendejas, Eye for Eye, Shaggy, Shakur Hands, Al Booger, the letter M, Tajon, Kevin Fernandez, JJ Sendejas, Marie De Bruyne, Clifton Dennis, Leroy, and everybody else who tuned in this morning, my peoples. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm going to see you tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time for another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. You guys have a great rest of your day. See you tomorrow, man. I'm Jay Smith. I'm out of here. Peace.